Hey everyone, this is Alleyways. I wrote it in 2016. I've lived in Orangeville almost 6 years now. Slowly but surely, this place has become my home. I've let my heart grow here. I've made friends and found a really fabulous community. I've spent a lot of time in alleyways. Downtown Orangeville is decidedly Broadway. The streets and avenues go north, south, and east, west, and the spaces in between are a little network of alleys or laneways. The downtown was designed after New York City, but does not resemble New York City at all. It's very small town Ontario. Tractors putter down the main street every once in a while, and the community is small. As I grew up in the country, I still have the habit of saying, I'm going into town, if I'm going to the library or the Salvation Army, even though town is 2 streets away from my house. Living in town has never been easy for me. The noise and the lights have always lingered as a slight annoyance on my periphery. I've lived in towns and cities all over the place and never felt totally settled. But alleyways make it easier for me. I've found a surprising amount of humanity tucked away in these places. The alley behind my house is where I walk my dog and where I see nature happen. There are more trees, blooms, and animals for me to look at while I walk. The alley is a place of tree houses, clotheslines, and garden plots. I've met my neighbors there. They see me walking day after day after day. They're so used to me that if they see me in town, they get this unexpected look on their faces and exclaim, "Where's your dog?" They just aren't used to seeing me without him. He is an extension of me as I am an extension of the alley. I stand and talk to my neighbors in that alley. I've got to know who is sick and who is well, who is on holiday and if I should pick up the paper, who is going back to school and who goes at a different time because they graduated to high school. The alley is predictable. It sets a rhythm, and we keep each other safe. The alleyway at work is a place of deliveries and garbage pickup. I also talk to my neighbors here, collecting bins and shoveling snow. There's always time to complain about the huge potholes or the people who drive too fast or someone parked in the wrong place. My neighbors at work decided, after a couple bottles of wine, or so the legend goes, to give our alley a name, and it was christened Lois Lane in late summer, and some signs appeared on garages and sheds in the fall. And we laughed. We laughed so much. The alley behind the yoga studio I attend is witness to the steady stream of people carrying colorful mats and water bottles. There have been summer nights when I've come out of the studio door with a teacher or a friend and we stood in the twilight and talked. The day fading around us, stars showing up. We talk about everything: life, love, learning, loss. There have been laughs and tears in that alleyway. Never mind that we're beside a dumpster under a murky streetlight. This is where we unite, and for that reason alone, the space is sacred and ours. All this time I spend in alleyways, which in other cities and towns are maybe dirty and unsafe, has me thinking. I think about how I appreciate and honor the spaces a little off the beaten track. How when I need some peace and quiet in a busy town, there are places that exist to give me this, and I am caught off guard. I am amazed by the relationships developed in these little places. Sure, some of those relationships are based on pretty harmless gossip and a fair amount of moaning about snow removal, but these relationships are also a heartbeat, a moment, then 2, then 4, all the way up to 1,000,000 moments of connection and care that people have for each other and their space. We exist in a world where it's hard to avoid people and busyness, even though we need a break from it sometimes. But I know for sure, in my heart, that I would avoid people and interaction sometimes if I could, and I have been forced away from that. I have been gently required to make ties and bonds, to stop for a chat with my 85-year-old neighbor and listen to him. I have been persuaded to make plans, let kids pet my dog, and find a little bit of myself in these places where not everybody goes. I continue to walk, think, say hello, help move a bin, and watch out for skunks. I'll continue to live in this space, my little corner of a big world, making it mine and making it yours. And I'll participate in the slow unfolding of my life. Sweet. Thanks for listening.